Now, when you think of an ASIM game, or what defines an ASIM game, most likely hide and seek, you always expect the survivor, the nimble, the weaker kind of version, the less abilities, the less sustainabilities to survive. Then you get into a few rounds in, and then you're the killer, or the seeker in another sense. More powers, more strength, less cooldowns, and more abilities. The fun is what lies until you wait. Round after round, maybe even buying your way there with Robux. Eventually to get the power roll. The power roll is what defines every ASIM game. Every ASIM game should have one power roll. That being the killer. And the killer itself can most likely should be balanced, at least to a sense. And most games should try and focus on that. I'm not targeting anyone. And when you're the killer, you're most likely given 4 to 3 abilities on very low cooldowns that usually have very strong control over the survivors. Most likely, who is going to be the next to be killed, who is going to be the next to get into a last man standing with. And it's the difference of being a survivor and being a killer. Because when you're a survivor, you can go down a few hits. Not that strong, but you're strong in numbers. Let's take Forsaken, for example. It's an 8v1 asymmetrical horror game. I say horror lightly, because it's not much of a horror game. It's more an action kind of a game. Your survivor doesn't have a lot of health, doesn't have the best cooldown on abilities, and doesn't have the good amount of abilities. The very fact that you are able to survive for a long time without any help proves that being killer may be for you. But it comes to a difference when the killer actually knows what they're doing. But that also means your team should know what they're doing also. But it's a whole different side with being a killer, or being the power roll. You don't have any teammates, you don't have anyone to help you, you have nothing. You have no one to help you and no one to protect you. From stuns, from evasion, nothing. You have to rely on the player's skill level to get a kill. Because maybe you're going against someone that knows how to dodge and jump like hell. And they're going to do that. They don't want to die, and no one does in the game. Otherwise, you're sitting in the lobby for like 5 minutes. And being the killer is a lot more fun, because you get to kill people, you get to throw them around, you get to bash them in the head. You get to do so much more stuff when you're killer. And I think that's what's being fun about the killer. When you're the survivor, you have to rely on your your teamwork just to stay alive. And sometimes most people aren't the most reliable. But what I can say is that being the killer is pretty fun. And being the power roll is being in control, putting pressure on everyone. And I think that is why people love the killer so much. I'm just saying a whole bunch of bullshit.